What do you want? Gold. About 88% of all the gold in the world comes from Africa.
Wow.
You can't. Well, you hear these stories every now and then about a person stumbling over a diamond somewhere in South Africa, you know, like a 37 carat diamond. It has no continent has that much wealth under the earth. There's something called sweet oil, not ordinary oil, the highest grade of oil. Most of it's concentrated in Nigeria, not in Saudi Arabia. Sweet oil, more oil is the other place, but not. That's the highest grade. America gets almost half of Nigeria's sweet oil to run this stuff we see around here. I could not wrap my leftovers at breakfast without tinfoil. We don't think that's bauxite. That's where it comes from, in Africa and Nigeria. Some of it even comes from Jamaica. Bauxite, that's the raw material. When you finish it, that's that tinfoil on your table you got in your cabinet. It comes from Africa. See what I'm saying? And the machines over here to refine the raw material, that's what they call raw material. Cobalt. Anybody know what that is? Well, I didn't. See? That's a major ingredient in making your television. You can't make it run electronically without cobalt, C-O-B-O-L-T. And I could go on and on. Something. Rubber. The largest rubber plantation is in Africa, and so is the second largest. It's called Goodyear. Yeah. You know, on your automobile?
Yeah.
It comes from Liberia. And so is the other major maker of rubber. Comes from Liberia. Now, you heard about the Liberian Civil War? You know, many of them came here, and children were in armies. And there's spots in Liberia where the Western wealth is concentrated, where they got factories and stuff transforming this oil. Nobody's shooting over there. You know, it's clear the war zone was outside of where America is. Are you following me on that? It's saying Goodyear and Firestone have been in Liberia since the 20s. You know, when you get the Goodyear, that's where it comes from. The rubber comes from there. It's raw material. Then you bring it to the factories over here and refine it. Yeah, well, that was one of the horror stories of Africa is the Civil War, which children were drafted into armies and so forth. But where America and other Western European countries were extracting the oil, the rubber, and sending it in, there was no war. It was free zone. No, nobody coming to there shooting. That's how that works. And something like, well, I don't want to waste time, but you get my point. If this is a teachable moment, we can talk about what's under the earth in Africa and how it relates to our wealth over here in this country. That's what's important about Africa to everybody. There are over 1 million Chinese in Africa right now. That's the scariest thing. It's been several years since I've been to West Africa, but this started when I was in Ghana. I saw so many Asians that I'd been there a couple of times. They were shifting this weight. China said, I got to be fed. We got to feel it. We got the second largest population in the world, 1.3 billion people. 3 times the number of people in the United States. Only one other country has that many people, and that's India. They both have over a billion people in the population. 1 out of every 4 people walking the earth is a Chinese or related to them. That's very important to understand that. So we're going through another world order, and the Chinese said, I'm replacing the United States as number 1. That's what I'm doing. And if we can capture Africa economically and give them, these puppet governments millions of dollars so they can buy homes around the world. And a lot of rich individuals in Africa, just like you got a top layer of rich black people. They're millionaires in Nigeria, hand over foot, all money. Not the people are poor. It's between him, the head, whoever the president, the governors are, and the transnational corporations. That means IBM, Control Data. They sign contracts, and the African government gets 51%, and 49% goes to these corporations that you can. So, I saw you going out, didn't I? Okay, here's what I'm trying to say. And what makes it so good about this group, we can cut the cloth to fit the pattern anytime we want to. So I want to take the opportunity to have, among other things, whatever we're discussing, some little pop quizzes on Africa to show you, and Lady Ambrosia and I will talk next week about putting maybe a series of these little pop quizzes.